spaces between us. I feel the pull, a quiet surrender, the silence so full. We've been drifting for so long, we don't even know how far apart we've come, how little we show. The words we used to say now sit in the past, like photos in a frame that couldn't last. We used to talk till the stars whispered our names. Now all we do is play a waiting game. We reach for each other, but our hands don't meet. Two souls in a room, but no way to speak. Can you feel it? The distance we've made between the smiles we used to trade. A love that once burned so clear and bright now flickers softly in the dead of night. I see the changes, but I don't know where it went. The love we had feels broken, bent. We used to know each other's hearts by sound. Now the silence speaks louder, a constant surround. I'm reaching for the connection we used to share, but it's slipping through my fingers like thin air. Do you still see me, or have I turned to a ghost? Am I the one you miss, or the one you fear most? Can you feel it? The distance we've made between the smiles we used to trade. A love that once burned so clear and bright now flickers softly in the dead of night. Maybe we were never meant to stay. Maybe we're just two people lost in the fray. But I still remember the warmth of your touch and the way you loved me so much. But somewhere along the line we let go, and now we're two strangers moving too slow. I'm still here, but are you still mine? Or have we already crossed the line? Can you feel it? The distance we've made between the smiles we used to trade. A love that once burned so clear and bright now flickers softly in the dead of night. So we fade like the end of a song when the silence. But I feel it in the space we've made. I catch your eyes, but we don't speak. A silence between us so deep, so weak. The things we don't say are louder than words, like a song we stopped singing, but still it's heard. We used to share everything, every thought, every fear. Now we stand in the quiet, wishing the other was near. The bond we had is fading like smoke in the air. We reach out in silence, but you're no longer there. Can you feel it? The weight of what's gone unsaid, the thoughts in the corners, the words left dead. A love that once grew now withers away in the the quiet of our hearts we silently stray. I feel the space growing with each passing day. The distance between us is what we don't say. There was a time when we could share our souls. Now we're just two strangers losing our roles. I still hold on to the memory of you, but it's fading just like the morning dew. The words were never enough, they never could be. And now we're both drowning in what we failed to see. Can you feel it? The weight of what's gone unsaid, the thoughts in the corners, the words left dead. A love that once grew now withers away. In the quiet of our hearts we silently stray. There's a distance in every glance, a longing that never had a chance. I wish we could speak, could say what we feel, but we stand here pretending it's all unreal. I'm still holding on to the you I once knew, but we're both lost in what we failed to do. The silence cuts deeper than anything sharp, leaving us torn apart in the dark. Can you feel it? The weight of what's gone unsaid, the thoughts in the corners, the words left dead. A love that once grew now withers away. In the quiet of our hearts we silently stray. And maybe one day we'll speak it aloud, the truth that's been hiding behind a cloud. But until that day comes, we'll stay in this place. Two hearts, two souls, lost in empty space. Whisper that echoes through the pouring night.
I still feel you here, though you're far away. A shadow in the corners where memories lay. The world moves on, but I stand still, chasing the echoes of a love that's real.
Your touch lingers like a ghost in the air. A moment so fragile, so beautifully rare.
But time keeps pulling us further apart, and I'm left with the pieces of a broken heart. Can you hear it? The sound of my tears falling like rain, washing away the years. A love that once burned so wild and bright now fades in the silence of endless nights. I remember the way you looked at me, like I was the answer you were meant to see. But somewhere along the way we lost our way, and I'm still searching for the words I couldn't say. The pictures we painted now blur in the light, but I hold on to the colors, trying to make them right. You're slipping through my hands like water so cold. A story we wrote, but now untold. Can you hear it? The sound of my tears falling like rain, washing away the years. A love that once burned so wild and bright in the silence of endless nights. I see your face in every drop that falls. In the rhythm of rain, I hear your calls. But I can't reach you, no matter how hard I try. And I'm left here alone beneath this empty sky. The love we had is now just a dream, a fading memory, a broken scene. But I still believe in the moments we shared, even if the world says that you never cared. Can you hear it? The sound of my tears falling like rain, washing away any years. A love that once burned so wild and bright now fades in the silence of endless nights. So I let the rain fall, wash me away, but your love will remain in the tears that stay, through the sorrow, through the pain. I'll carry you with me like tears in the rain, forever etched in the rhythm of the night. I'm still holding on to you, even when the silence feels so cruel. Your shadow lingers in my veins. I'm still holding on, but it's not the same. Your voice still echoes in my mind, each word a ghost I can't unwind. The air feels empty where you stood, but I can't forget, even if I should. I trace the moments we used to share, but every line fades into despair. The rhythm breaks, but I still stay, caught in the love that slipped away. The weight of you is all I know. I feel it rise, but it won't let go. Every beat pulls me deeper inside. Through endless loops I try to hide. I'm still holding on to you, even when the silence feels so cruel. Your shadow lingers in my veins. I'm still holding on, but it's not the same. The air turns cold, the walls close in, the rhythm slows, but I can't begin. I see your face in every light, a fleeting memory that haunts the night. No matter how far I try to run, your love pulls me back, it weighs a ton. I reach for something I can't hold, a piece of us that's turned to cold. The rhythm bends, but it won't break. Through every lead, it's still your name I take. The weight of you is all I know. I feel it rise, but it won't let go. Every beat pulls me deeper inside. Through endless loops I try to hide. I'm still holding on to you, even when the silence feels so cruel. Your shadow lingers turns white. Each step I take feels more untied, but I can't release what binds me still. Through fading echoes I feel the thrill. Each beat reminds me of what I've lost. The rhythm. We're close, we ever feel far away. A quiet space where we used to stay. I still remember the way you smiled, the warmth in your eyes, soft and wild. But time has changed us, we've drifted far, like two shooting stars that never met at the bar. You stand right here, but you're out of sight, like a dream that fades with the first light. I reach for you, but you slip through my hands, and I'm left wondering, did we misunderstand? Can you feel it? The space in between, the quiet distance where we've been. A love that once burned, now out of reach. A lesson in silence we can't seem to teach. We used to talk about the life we'd build. Now we're both silent, unsure and chilled. We dance around what's left unsaid, filling the gap with things instead. I try to find you in the moments we've missed, but the connection feels like a gentle twist. You're still here, but the distance shows, and I'm left here wondering, where does it go? Can you feel it? The space in between, the quiet distance where we've been. A love that once burned, now out of reach. A lesson in silence we can't seem to teach. I wish I could pull you back, bring you near, but the space between us grows year by year. We're both standing still, but moving apart. A distance in our souls, a break in the heart. Maybe we've changed, maybe we've grown, but sometimes love feels like it's never known. I still hold on to the warmth we shared, even if the silence says we're impaired. Can you feel it? The space in between, the quiet distance where we've been. A love that once burned, now out of reach. A lesson in silence we can't seem to teach. So I'll stand here waiting for a sign. But there's something unspoken. We built this space, just you and me. A world so fragile, a place to be free. But somewhere along the way, we lost our way. Words left unsaid, hearts led astray. I used to know your every move. Now we're strangers trying to find our groove. The
still free. I'm holding on to the pieces we left, but they slip through my fingers, lost and bereft. Maybe we're just two souls in a maze, trying to find a way out of this haze. But the space we made is too wide to bridge, and I'm left on this side, alone on the ridge. Can you feel in the distance we hide, in the space we made where we used to collide? A love that once danced in the light of the day now fades in the silence, slowly drifting away. So we stand here in the space we created, a love that once bloomed, now faded, deflated. But even as we're drifting apart, you'll always have a piece of my heart.
The thread between us starts to fray. Once so strong, now drifting away. We wove our dreams with threads of gold, but somewhere they snapped and now we're cold. I still see the spark in your eyes, but it fades with each silent goodbye. We used to talk for hours, it seemed. Our words like fire, our hearts like streams. But now the silence fills every room, like a shadow that stretches, dispelling the bloom. Can you feel it? The threads growing thin, the space between us where we've been. A love that once was now starting to tear. But I still hold on, though you're no longer there. I try to find you in the things we left, but the pieces are scattered, the colors bereft. We walk through the same world side by side, but I can't reach you no matter how hard I try. I keep your name like a whisper in the night, a fading echo, a flickering light. The bond we had is slipping through like threads unraveling, too far to renew. Can you feel it? The threads growing thin, the space between us where we've been. A love that once was now starting to tear. But I still hold on, though you're no longer there. I wish I could pull you back, make us whole, but we're caught in the distance, out of control. The thread pulls tight, then snaps again, leaving me with memories, but too much pain. Maybe we were meant to learn, not stay, but the lesson's hard when love fades away. Still I remember the warmth you gave, even as the threads drift into the grave. Can you feel it? The threads growing thin, the space between us where we've been. A love that once was lost, now starting to tear. But I still hold on, though you're no longer there. So we stand here silent as the threads untwine. A love that once flourished, now lost in time. But I'll keep you close in the threads I hold, even as they fade, as we grow cold. painting the sky, a moment slipping, no matter how hard I try. We stood on the edge, watching the world unfold. Dreams in our hands, but the future grew cold. The days were long and the nights were sweet, but somewhere along the way we lost our feet. I remember the way you held my hand, like we could conquer all, like we could understand. But time doesn't wait, and love doesn't stay. It drifts like the tide, then fades away. Can you see it, the fading horizon, where we once stood, but now we're forgotten? A love that shone like the morning sun now disappears like a race never won. The whispers we shared now just echoes in space, fading into the distance like the lines on your face. The promises made, now lost in the night, like stars that burn out, never to shine bright. I still hear your voice when the wind blows soft, calling my name like a dream I've lost. But I keep chasing, hoping to find a glimpse of the love that once filled my mind. Can you see it, the fading horizon, where we once stood, but now we're forgotten? A love that shone like the morning sun now disappears like a race never won. The clouds roll in and the sky turns gray, but I still feel you in every way. Though the horizon keeps pulling us apart, you'll always remain in the depths of my heart. The world keeps turning and the seasons change, but love, it seems, will always feel strange. I hold on to the memories we left behind, like a fading horizon in my heart and mind. Can you see it, the fading horizon, where we once stood, but now we're forgotten? A love that shone like the morning sun now disappears like a race never won. So I let go and watch the sky fall. Your footsteps fade, a memory slipping, a love once made. We walked through seasons, hand in hand, building a world we thought would stand. But the days have passed and the path is unclear, and I'm left with the echo of you here. Your voice still lingers in the cool night air, a whisper of feeling, but you're no longer there. We shared our dreams beneath the same sky, but now I watch them drift, asking why. Can you feel it, the space between us, where once we stood, now all that's left is dust. A love that once danced in the morning light now fades with the dusk out of sight. shore. I reach for the moments, but they slip through my hands like a story unwritten, lost in the sands. I thought we had time, but time was a thief, stealing the moments and leaving grief. I trace your name in the space that's cold, but I'm left alone with a story untold. Can you feel it? The space between us, where once we stood, now all that's left is dust. A love that once danced in the morning light now fades with the dusk out of sight. Maybe we were never meant to last, just two souls passing too fast. But I'll keep your memory in the back of my mind, like fading footprints we left behind. And though we're apart, I'll always recall the love we once had before the fall. But now we're just shadows moving on, fading like footprints at the break of dawn. Can you feel it? The space between us, where once we stood, now all that's left is dust. The love that once danced in the morning light now fades with the dusk out of sight. So I'll walk through the silence, carrying your name in the fading footprints. Things will never be the same, but I'll hold on to you, even as you fade in the quiet, in the space we once made.
Floating in the quiet, so far from the shore. Tired of drifting, but we don't know what we're waiting.
Once we were anchored, strong and secure, a bond that felt endless, a love so pure. But now we're drifting with the tides of change, moving farther apart, though we're not estranged. I feel your presence, but it's slipping away, like words we never spoke, now lost in the fray. The things we used to share now feel so distant, like memories fading, though they once felt consistent. Can you feel it? Adrift in the sea, a love once steady, now floating free. We're like driftwood, carried by the tide. We're still here, but the current won't let us collide. We used to know each other without a glance, our hearts beat together in perfect dance. But the rhythm has changed and we're out of step, two souls apart with no way to reconnect. I still reach for you, but the distance grows, and we're stuck in the waves where no one knows the love we had, like a shipwrecked dream, now adrift in the current, losing its gleam. Can you feel it? Adrift in the sea, a love once steady, now floating free. We're like driftwood, carried by the tide. We're still here, but the current won't let us collide. Maybe we were never meant to stay, just two lost pieces swept away. But I still remember the warmth of your touch, and how it felt when we mattered so much. We're both lost, yet we're both still here, floating side by side, but never so near. The current moves on, but we still remain, hoping for calm, but stuck in the rain. Can you feel it? The drift in the sea, a love once steady, now floating free. We're like driftwood, carried by the tide. We're still here, but the current won't let us collide. So we drift in the silence, two hearts adrift in the spaces between back to me, I'm breaking apart. Your shadow lingers, it owns my heart. Every breath I take feels incomplete. Come back to me, I'm lost in defeat. The room is quiet, but it holds your name. Every corner whispers, but it's not the same. I see your face in the faintest light, but when I reach for you, you fade from sight. The walls still echo the words we said, but now they're hollow, they've turned to dread. I close my eyes and I hear your laugh, but it's slipping away like a photograph. The air is heavy, the silence white. Every beat pulls me to your side, but you're not here, you're far away. And I'm left in the space where we used to. Come back to me, I'm breaking apart. Your shadow lingers, it owns my heart. Every breath I take feels incomplete. Come back to me, I'm lost in defeat. Each second bends, each memory stays. The rhythm fades, but you remain. I'll walk the streets where we used to go. Each step feels colder, the moment slow. The lights flicker soft, they guide my way. But I can't escape what I didn't say. I'd trade the silence for one more fight. I'd hold the pain if it felt like right. The rhythm twists, but it won't rewind. I'm chasing love I'll never find. The air is heavy, the silence white. Every beat pulls me to your side, but you're not here, you're far away. And I'm left in the space where we used to. Come back to me, I'm breaking apart. Your shadow lingers, it owns my heart. Every breath I take feels incomplete. Come back to me, I'm lost in defeat. The night grows long, the stars don't shine. Each loop repeats, you're still not mine. I try to hold what I can't feel. Through every breath, it's all too real. The rhythm slows, the pain runs deep. I try to let go, but it won't keep. Through fading light, I call your name, but every sound feels just the same. Come back to me, I'm breaking apart. Your shadow fades, but not my heart. Every step I take feels incomplete. Come back to me, I'm lost in defeat. We said it before, and let's chase the storm. Beauty's ahead, and we'll carry on. We've had our struggles, but look where we stand. We've weathered the storms, together we'll land. With every step, we're closer to free, finding the strength that we never thought we'd see. We'll leave behind the doubts and the fears, stepping into the light we've waited for years. The world is wide and the sky's so clear. With you by my side, there's nothing to fear. Can you feel it, the wind in our hair? We're chasing horizons with dreams to spare. The future's calling, we'll run with grace. Together we'll rise, we'll find our place. Through every shadow we found the way, turning every night into a brighter day. The mountains are high, but we're climbing fast. Together we'll rise, we'll find our place. Through every dream we've had is within our reach. With every step forward we're learning to teach that love and hope are the keys to the door. The horizon is waiting and we're ready for more. Can you feel it? The wind in our hair. We're chasing horizons with dreams to spare. The future's calling and we'll run with grace. Together we'll rise, we'll find our place. We'll run through the fields, we'll dance in the rain. Chasing the sun, we'll break every chain. The road is long, but we're here to stay. With hearts full of promise, we'll light up the way. We've come so far, and we're still moving on. The light ahead is where we belong. Together we'll soar higher than before. The horizon awaits, we'll ask for no more. Can you feel it? The wind in our hair. We're chasing horizons with dreams to spare. The future's calling and we'll run with grace. Together we'll rise, we'll find our place. So here we go, no looking behind. With hope in our hearts and dreams in our mind, we're chasing horizons and the world is ours. Together we rise, reaching for the stars. In the quiet, I hear what someone said between the lines of where our hearts once bled. We used to speak in every glance, a love so quiet, like a secret dance. But somewhere along the way we turned away, and the words we needed we couldn't say. I feel the distance grow with every breath, like a wall built strong between life and death. We don't touch the same, we don't speak the same, and now we're both lost, but still playing the game. Can you see it? The spaces between, the things we left out, the in-betweens. A love that once burned, now quietly fades, lost in the silence where we never traded. I remember the days when we couldn't stop talking for hours, our hearts on top. But now the silence fills every room, and we wait for a sign, waiting for the bloom. We're both afraid of what we'll find, hoping for answers, but lost in the blind. The connection we had is slowly slipping, and all that's left is the silence dripping. Can you see it? The spaces between, the things we left out, the in-betweens. A love that once burned, now quietly fades, lost in the silence where we never traded. I wish we could turn the pages back, find the words we've lost, on this broken track. But we've stayed quiet too long in the dark, ignoring the spark that used to leave a mark. Maybe we've outgrown the love we had. Maybe the silence is the only truth we've had. But somewhere deep I still feel the pull, the love's still alive, though the silence is full. Can you see it? The spaces between the things we left out, the in-betweens. A love that once burned now quietly fades, lost in the silence where we never traded. So we sit here silent in the space we've made, between the lines where our hearts have swayed. And though we don't speak, I'll remember this time.
A space between us, yet I'm still here. We sit in the room, but the air feels thick. Words left unsaid and hearts that flicker quick. I see the distance, though you're close to me. A touch that's missing, a love that used to be. Your eyes search mine, but you can't seem to stay. Like we're both lost, just floating away. The silence screams louder than words we could say, and we're stuck in a dance, afraid to stray. Can you feel it? The space in between the things we don't say, the things we've seen. A love that once burned now flickers and dies beneath the silence where truth often lies. We walk side by side, but the paths don't align. We're holding on tight, but we're all running out of time. The touches are fleeting, the smiles are thin. A bond so strong, now fading within. I try to reach you, but you're slipping away. Caught in your world while I fade into gray. The weight of unspoken words drags us down. In the sea of silence, we start to drown. Can you feel it? The space in between the things we don't say, the things we've seen. A love that once burned now flickers and dies beneath the silence where truth often lies. There's a longing, a hope that still remains, that somehow, someday we'll break these chains. But the walls are built and the distance grows, and I'm left here wondering if you even know. I reach for you in the quiet of night, but you're a shadow that just fades from sight. Still I hold on to the fragments we shared, though I know deep down you're no longer there. Can you feel it? The space in between the things we don't say, the things we've seen. A love that once burned now flickers and dies
wishing for answers, but lost in forever. The bond we once had is slipping through, but beneath the silence, I'm still here with you.
The pages of us worn and torn. In the quiet, we're both reborn. We used to write our stories in the dark. Faded ink on pages, love like a spark. But somewhere the words started to fade, and we let go of the promises we made. Your smile was a melody I knew by heart, but now I can't hear it, we're worlds apart. We sit in silence, letting time pass by. Two souls who forgot how to say goodbye. Can you feel it? The weight of the past. The pages we turn, they never last. A love once bright, now softly dim. In the cracks of time, we begin to slip. I keep replaying the moments we shared. The laughs, the quiet, the love we once dared. But the record is skipping, the sound isn't right, and the warmth we felt fade into the night. We built our world with fragile dreams, but now we're left with broken seams. I search for you in the spaces we knew, but I only find echoes fading too. Can you feel it? The weight of the past. The pages we turn, they never last. A love once bright, now softly dim. In the cracks of time, we begin to slip. Maybe we were meant to be a moment in time, a fleeting song, a distant rhyme. But somewhere along the way, we slipped through the cracks, and now we can't go back. The vinyl's still playing, but the tune is lost. A love like ours, it's too high a cost. But I'll keep your name in the back of my mind, like a song I'll never leave behind. Can you feel it? The weight of the past. The pages we turn, they never last. A love once bright, now softly dim. In the cracks of time, we begin to slip. So we let go, but the story remains. Worn pages, forgotten names. In the
Time pulls us closer and pushes away, like a love that can't stay but won't fade away.
We spoke in whispers, sharing our hearts, but somewhere along the way, we drifted apart. The moments we shared, now lost in the waves, like footprints in sand that time never saves. I still see you in the spaces I roam, but you're not beside me, I'm here alone. I reach for you, but the distance grows, like the sea between us that no one knows. Can you feel it? The tides between us, pulling us under, then lifting us up. A love that once soared now sinks
lost the rhythm, the song. Now we're just two souls who don't belong. We tried to hold on, but the waves were too strong. And now we're stranded where we don't belong. I still hear your voice and the whispers of the breeze, but you're fading away like leaves in the tree.
Can you feel it? The tides between us, pulling us under and lifting us up. A love that once soared now sinks like a storm. In the depths of silence, we're left alone.
Maybe we were just meant to be, a moment in time, a spark in the dark, a rhythm, a rhyme. But love, like the tides, ebbs and flows, and sometimes it's just time to let go. I'll keep the memories, but let the pain slide, as the ocean of silence pulls us apart wide. And maybe someday the tides will return, but for now all we can do is let it burn.
Can you feel it? The tides between us, pulling us under, then lifting us up. A love that